by the Coalition of Minnesota Businesses.
Community-focused, conservative-minded. This is AM 1100 and 92.3 FM, WZFG, Dilworth, Fargo, Moorhead, USA. It's 4 o'clock.
From the WDAY News Center, this is Ty Schonert, and it's time for your Flag News Update. U.S. Senator John Hoeven has announced that funding has been secured by the Fargo VA to build a fully developed restroom on the National Cemetery grounds. That entails a bathroom with running water, a flushable toilet, heat, and electricity. The announcement comes on the heels of issues between the VA and Fargo Honor Guard over private land being sought by the Guard over a facility to be built. Hoeven also called on the city of Fargo and Mayor Tim Mahoney to work with the Honor Guard on helping fund the project. The North Dakota Secretary of State's office has confirmed that both Cara Mund and Rick Becker will be appearing on the ballot this coming November for their respective races. Mund, who is a former Miss America, filed as an independent to challenge incumbent U.S. Representative Kelly Armstrong, while Becker is also listed as an independent in his bid for the seat now held by U.S. Senator John Hoeven. The general election is set for Tuesday, November 8th. And no injuries were reported after an explosion at a mobile home just outside of Thief River Falls on Thursday. The Pennington County Sheriff's Office says they received several 911 calls reporting the explosion. When they arrived to find an active fire, Thief River Falls EMS, police, and fire all responded to the scene. The Minnesota State Fire Marshal's office and the sheriff are investigating the supposed explosion. This is Ty Schonert with The Flag at AM1100theflag.com. First at the news when you need to know.
Farmers and operators don't always have to get a new piece of machinery to get state-of-the-art performance. At Intelligent Ag, our company was founded by farmers and innovators to build smart farming technology to help you get the most out of your ag equipment, meaning improved performance and high return on investment. The next time you think you need an upgrade on your equipment, consider Intelligent Ag upgrades. We offer flow monitoring and section control solutions on air seeders and fertilizer floaters. Visit intelligentag.com to learn more.
Reassurance from the new King of England. Lisa Brady, Fox News. His first address, a mixture of sorrow and hope as the world mourns his mother.
The king called his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, an inspiration and recalled her love and affection as a mother. He remembered her promise, though, as well.
That promise of lifelong service I renew to you all today.
King Charles III said over the 70 years of her reign, society had changed, as had the institutions, but
through all changes and challenges, our nation and the wider family of realms, of whose talents, traditions, and achievements I am so inexpressibly proud, have prospered and flourished.
He said the role and duties of monarchy remain as well, and he ended his remarks by saying to his darling mama, as he called her, thank you.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Plans for the funeral still underway. President Biden says he'll be there. Earlier today, visiting Ohio, focusing on efforts to make more semiconductors in the U.S.
We're going to make sure that companies that take taxpayers' dollars don't turn around and make investments in China to undermine our supply chain and national security.
This as Intel held a groundbreaking for its new plant in Columbus. Southern California is bracing for Tropical Storm K, which is not expected to make landfall, but could dump several inches of rain on the region. City spokesman Anthony Santa Croce says San Diego's been clearing storm drains.
We've determined that we need to do this maintenance right now, or else the waters might get high enough to impact property and life here. So we are going to conduct this emergency maintenance.
Parts of Arizona and Nevada also facing a threat of flash flooding. On the plus side, the storm may help break a long heat wave, but it could also fan wildfires, including the deadly Fairview fire north of San Diego. America is listening to Fox News.
Dell Technologies' semi-annual sale has arrived, and it's time to upgrade to the latest business technology. Save big on laptops and desktops with Windows 11 Pro. Plus, get amazing deals on server, storage, and cloud solutions, as well as top work accessories, including docks, monitors, and more. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL for special business offers during our semi-annual sale.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656.
Decreasing clouds through this evening will lead into partly cloudy conditions tonight. We'll have a northerly wind around 5 to 15, going light as temperatures drop down to a low near 44. On Saturday, partly cloudy, a lot of sunshine around the area with temperatures in the lower 70s and upper 60s. We'll have a north-northwest wind 5 to 15. Light wind on Sunday, mostly sunny, lower and mid 70s before we warm into the mid and upper 70s into next week. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Today's weather is brought to you by Summit Carbon Solutions. The ethanol industry is critical for the North Dakota economy and our farmers. Summit Carbon Solutions is opening new economic opportunities for ethanol producers and helping maintain a strong market for corn growers while generating millions of dollars in new property taxes to help local communities support our schools and hospitals. Visit SummitCarbonSolutions.com to learn how this project is driving the future of agriculture in North Dakota.
Live from the PetroServe USA studio, it's the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free.
Big question of the day for you. Should the state of North Dakota, do you feel the state of North Dakota should outlaw, completely ban CRT, critical race theory? Should it be banned in the great state of North Dakota? I want to know your point of view on that. Very easy to share your point of view. Just call into the show. 701-271-1100. Again, 701-271-1100. Also, earlier this week, we shared with you there was a book in a Moorhead elementary school and a Moorhead middle school. So keep in mind, elementary and middle school, speaking about CRT and critical race theory, there's a book there. I don't have the title right in front of me, but essentially when you open up this book, oh, here it is. Now I do have the title. Good for us. Title of the book, in elementary school and middle school. Not my idea. A book about whiteness. Should we ban critical race theory in the great state of North Dakota? 701-271-1100. Why have a book about whiteness in an elementary school and a middle school? I thought the point was for us to build a nation. We're not a perfect nation. We know that. But we talk about becoming a more perfect union, right? Abraham Lincoln talking about becoming a more perfect union. One way to do that is we really go back to who we are as a nation that's based on meritocracy. We're not perfect. Nobody says we are, which, by the way, stay with me today because wait until you hear Jody Plessity yesterday. We told you about this. There was a big hearing in Bismarck in regards to banning CRT, critical race theory, in North Dakota. Jody Plessity, if you're listening today, all I want to do is just say, wow. We've got the clip for you coming up here in a moment. And she was out in Bismarck, hit the mic, and just, straight fire. She was in fuego. Muchas gracias, Jody, because that was incredible. We'll play that clip for you here in a moment. So you open up this book from Moorhead, and we reached out to, I think, super producer Chris reached out to Brenda Richmond. She's over at Moorhead Public Schools, and we got a statement back in regards to this book about whiteness. Now, when you open it up, here's the key thing. And my point about us as a nation is, can we just get back to a nation of meritocracy? Can we go to a place like Dr. Martin Luther King talked about where we can just judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin? I don't understand that. How about not my idea? A book about joy, a book about integrity, a book about compassion, a book about passion, right? Not about, don't break me down by the color of my skin. There ain't nothing I can do about it. I was born this way. There's nothing I can do about that. So why judge me on that? Let's talk about the content of my character, because that's something I can do something about. So inside this book, you open it up, it says this, and here's how I want to frame this for you. Imagine for a moment if I read any other ethnicity any other color, any other culture other than whiteness with what I'm about to share with you. So just think for a moment, if Chris were to say right now, any other color, any other ethnicity, any other culture other than whiteness, how this would be portrayed, and then wait until you hear the statement from Moorhead Public Schools in regards to why this book is even in an elementary school or a junior high school. So here's what it says. Whiteness is a bad deal. It always was. Again, I can't do anything about the color of my skin. It's an immutable thing. I can't change it. So if I were to put any other color, blank is a bad deal. It always was. Do you think they'd have this book in the library? I don't even want to say it because it's so, but you get it. If I said any other culture, any other color is a bad deal, it always was. Do you think this book would be in the library? Not only that, wait till you hear the statement from Moorhead Public Schools in regards to this book. And I think you could ask yourself, okay, so do they have books that then celebrate whiteness in the Moorhead Public Library, school library? This book goes on to say contract binding you to whiteness. Again, if you put in any other color, any other culture, would this book be in there? Contract binding you to whiteness. You get stolen land, stolen riches, special favors. Whiteness gets to mess endlessly with the lives of your friends, neighbors, loved ones, and all fellow humans of color for the purpose of profit. Then it asks these little kids to sign their names. To sign their names to this statement about whiteness is bad. It always has been. So we reached out to Moorhead Public Schools, and here's the statement. I want to read this to you pretty much verbatim. And then again, just think about if there was a book that said, "This is always bad. Any other color, any other culture, put in there, this is bad, always was." Email from Brenda Richmond, Moorhead Schools. At Moorhead Area Public Schools, our mission is to develop the maximum potential of every learner to thrive in a changing world. We provide vibrant educational literacy and diverse, engaging learning opportunities for all our students. Our library collections reflect the diversity of our student body and community. Every student has a right to be represented in the books we make available. We want our students to know that no matter their race, socioeconomic status, or background, they belong here and can graduate college and career ready. Please refer to the school board policy regarding selection of instructional materials. It goes on to say this. We'll get to your phone calls here in just a moment. If you want to call in, very easy to do, 701-271-1100. Again, 701-271-1100. So the email says this: library resources serve as a point of voluntary access to information and ideas as a learning laboratory for students as they acquire critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Again, if it said any other color or ethnicity other than whiteness, would this be in the library? CRT, critical race theory. This is where you've got to understand the point of CRT, is to basically look at you and say, hey, white people, you are all, again, bad. It always was, right? That's the premise of this book that's going into the minds of elementary kids and middle schoolers. It says all resources are available, not mandated. Book selection is up to the individual student. The district respects the fact that families have differing ideas and values and encourage discussion with your student about the books they are choosing. All I want to ask you is if this book said any other color, any other culture, any other ethnicity, would it be in that library? Let's get to the phone calls. Number to call in, 701-271-1100 around critical race theory, CRT. Should North Dakota ban it? Daniel on line one. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind? What's your point of view?
Hey, good afternoon, Chris. Here's what I think. And I didn't know if you know this or not, and if somebody else knows more of it, please call in. Governor Walz is putting the critical race theory into the educational system of Minnesota if he gets elected again. I'm just wondering if people know this. I think my side of it is I think it's extremely dangerous, the critical race theory, and I kind of along the woke culture and all that. I think it's just so dangerous right now and will always be. That's my belief. But I think Governor Walz and his agenda is all wrong. And if people know more of what this is with the Governor Walz situation, please call in and let us know. I would really appreciate some information. Thank you.
Daniel, thank you so much for the phone call. Appreciate it. Again, if you want to call in, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. The flag. We always love to hear from you and your point of view. It really is the best part of the show. So, Daniel, I will share this with you. We had a guest on a while back talking about there was the new teacher credentialing is basically, and this is their words, not mine, because obviously I have not perused it in its entirety, but they're like, look, Chris, we're basically teaching soft Marxism now. That in order to get credentialed as a teacher, you basically have to sign off and say, yes, I will teach Marxism within my classes and have an understanding of it and teach it, again, to kids that are in elementary school, middle school. You have to ask yourself, why? I think you know the answer, but I still think it's good to ask yourself, why? Why would we want to teach this to young kids? And then you think about for a moment how, which I'm hopefully going to get to play some of these clips for you. In the hearing yesterday about how we whitewash our history here in America. Now there might be some veracity to that. That's fine. If you want to have that point of view, okay. Well, we can make that argument. My point to you though is then why are we not doing a good job of teaching about Venezuela, Cuba, and what's going on in those countries as communist nations? Because many of these young people, in fact, you just look at recent polling, young people today believe, hey, if there is a major problem out there that needs to be solved, would you rather have capitalism solve that problem or socialism? And a majority of people actually believe that socialism is a better way to solve the problem than capitalism. So why are we not teaching about what's really happening in Cuba, what's really happening in Venezuela? All right, I want to get to the phone calls as well, guys. We can bring those up, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Thank you so much for calling in. Looks like John, our producer here, is just typing it in, so we'll give him a moment because I do want to play for you. Jody Plessity at the hearing yesterday steps up to the mic and just hit a grand slam. I mean, she was fantastic. So, John, do we have this caller on the line? All right, let's just go to this caller. I don't have the name up yet, but let's go to this caller if we can. So welcome to the show. What's your point of view? Welcome to the show, sir, madam. What's your point of view?
Chris?
Yes.
Ryan from Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Hey,
Good to
Ryan,
talk to you
welcome.
today. Say, I think you're a little off base here, only in that you're kind of asking the wrong question. Should critical race theory be banned in schools? If I were that concerned as a parent about what my children were being taught, I wouldn't be sending them to government-run schools. I'd be schooling them at home myself. And I think that ought to be an option, I guess. It should be something that more parents would at least consider for their children.
Ryan, fantastic phone call. We've been talking about a lot here on the show. Is school choice right now is very, very important to the future of this nation. Guys, can we pause that out, please? Mute him, and we'll go to David here in a moment. But school choice, we need to have a voucher system where the money actually follows your kids, because you're going to hear Jody here. We're going to play her in the next segment. But Jody Plessity, again, she nails it. What needs to happen? Look, you guys don't want to follow the law. You want to go and indoctrinate our kids? Fine. Here's what we're going to do. You'll hear that in a moment. Well, let's get to this phone call, though. We've got David on line 3. David, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Are you against teaching critical race theory as a theory, or any discussion of it, or what?
No, I want to talk about, hey, look, there has been some historical wrongs in this nation, and what's great about this nation is we're one of the few places on the planet right now that's trying to, well, I shouldn't say that. We used to, maybe not anymore. We used to want to do this thing called meritocracy, judge people on the content of their character, not on the color of their skin.
But is there a ban on discussing it as a theory? I mean, is that a problem?
No, I think where I've got the issue is the prime example is this book in a elementary school saying, hey, whiteness is a bad deal. Like maybe David, you can explain to me like How is that empowering a young person?
I have no idea, but
Okay.
my main thing is, I mean, if you're teaching that one is bad because of color, that's wrong. I don't care what it is.
Thank you.
But discussing something as a theory, to me, is fine. They shouldn't ban that. After all, gravity is a theory.
I don't know.
It happens, but we don't really know how. So
Well-
why can't they at least discuss this as a theory?
David, we got to wrap it up there. We got Roger Andrew. We'll come to you right after this. Stay with us, 701-271-1100.
Your farm and business depends on a reliable source for energy. PetroServe USA is the customer-owned co-op committed to being a stable source of fuel for your equipment and propane to dry your grain. We have the capacity to make sure you never run out of fuel and to keep prices stable. Dependability, competitive prices, and exemplary service. That's PetroServe USA, helping America fuel better.
USA.
Call today.
The team at North Star Ag knows that no two farm operations are the same. They take pride in learning what makes yours unique, and through years of experience, bring the know-how and understanding that your farm deserves. North Star Ag is North Dakota's largest and most trusted full-service short-line machinery dealer with parts, service, and a huge inventory. From planting to growing to harvest, they help farmers and growers all over North Dakota, and they want to do the same for you. Learn more online at northstarag.com. North Star Ag, committed to quality, committed to you.
As a business owner or operator, have you ever wondered how much money your unreliable IT network's downtime is costing you? Do you wish you had an IT professional but think you can't afford one? With managed IT services from 702 Communications, you get an entire team of IT professionals to handle all of your business IT needs, and all for much less than you think. Right now, for a limited time, 702 Communications is offering your first month of managed services free with the promo code The Flag. Call 702 Communications today at 218-284-5702. And our managed service team will help you find a technology solution that fits your needs and puts your mind at ease. For a limited time, call 702 Communications today at 218-284-5702 or go to 702com.com and get your first month of managed services free with promo code The Flag.
Here's a shout out to our friends at Olaf Anderson Construction. You've no doubt seen the construction project along I-29 next to Thunder Road. That's our Flag family headquarters. What a professional crew at Olaf Anderson. Not only did they help us install state-of-the-art studios with top-of-the-line amenities, their attention to detail is incredible. The team at Olaf Anderson, for your next project, big or small, contact the pros. You'll love them. Olaf Anderson Construction, your turnkey design-build contractor. Visit olafanderson.com. olafanderson.com.
Back and bigger than ever is the Big Iron Farm Show presented by the Cass County Farm Bureau. Stop out to the Red River Valley Fairgrounds September 14th to the 16th for the 41st Big Iron Farm Show. You'll see the latest in the agriculture industry, hear from industry leaders, and more. With more than 500 exhibitors at Big Iron, there's something for everyone. September 14th to the 16th. It's Big Iron. Get all the details at BigIronFarmShow.com.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. We love freedom here. We are truth lovers, freedom fighters. So thank you so much for being one of those and being part of this outstanding community. We're asking you today, should North Dakota outlaw critical race theory? A lot of great phone calls coming in. So we want to get back to those. The number to call into the show, 701-271-1100. Again, 701-271-1100. You can also email us always as well. It's studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, that's studio@chrisbergshow.com. Great email here. Study race relations after Obama became president. People took the bait. He's divided this country, and people keep taking the bait. God created man, period. I won't take the bait and allow someone like him to divide me. Wake up, people. Thank you. It goes back to what we talked about. I think it was Monday. Maybe it was even last Friday. My days run together. But just stop seeing people through a lens of color, even through liberal and conservative or Democrat, Republican. Like, see them as Americans, because all they're doing is they want to continue to divide us. And I hate to say it, but it goes back to those guys making money. Let's get to the phone calls here. We've got Andrew. Is Andrew the next one? Let's go to Andrew. We got a bunch of calls, so thank you for calling. Let's go to Andrew. Andrew, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Good afternoon, guys. I just want to make 2 quick points here. One is I would strongly suggest everyone would watch the movies named Uncle Tom. There are commercials on AM 1100, the flag for them, and they're very, very well done. It gives a true historical perspective of the racial tensions in America. The second point I want to make is that history repeats itself, and we have to realize that the propaganda machine and the Marxists are doing the same thing they did back in the 1920s. In early Germany, if you remember, early moving film had just been invented. So what they would do is the Nazi party had all the money. So they would rent out these movie theaters and walk around. Their soldiers would walk around and hand out free tickets to 13, 14, 15-year-old boys. And they would say, hey, you want to go see a movie? And they're like, well, sweet, a movie? I've never seen a movie. What is a movie? They'd go in there, and the movie that they would watch was propaganda against the Jews, against blacks, against races. And it was very intelligently, evilly, maniacally done in a way that is Marxist 101. So it makes people slowly turn towards this racist bent attitude through education. And that's exactly what CRT is doing all over again. It's separating races based on absolute hate, and it's just disguised in the form of education.
Andrew, thank you so much for the phone call. I appreciate that. Please, I think all of us, at least for me, man, that's one of the things I loved about athletics. That's one of the things I love about being in sales is it's all about meritocracy. Judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. If you want to call into the show and share your point of view, always love to hear from you. 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Let's go to John. John, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Hi. Yes, on critical race theory, it's just a damaging, evil thing. I believe it disincentivizes both kids to succeed. It tells the black kids you're hobbled, you've been held down, you will be held down. It tells the white kids you're responsible, you're not worthy of success. And I honestly think when you add everything up, the open borders, everything else. Well, I don't know if you heard about this in Illinois. They've got a thing called the Safety Act. They passed it, all the Democrats. Whole list of crimes, you'll just be charged and released without bail. Second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, arson. I'm not making this up.
Somehow we lost John there. So John, sorry, I don't know what happened there. If you want to call back in, John, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. We lost you for a minute. Go ahead, sir.
You can hear me? Yeah. They're trying to unleash hell on earth. So I don't know if you heard, they just passed, the Democrats, the Safe-T, Safety Act, typical Orwellian doublespeak, in Illinois. And people charged with these crimes will be released without bail. Second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, arson. I'm not making this up. Aggravated battery, kidnapping, burglary. It goes on.
Hey, John,
I think the entire platform to the left can be 3 words: designed to fail.
John, thank you for the phone call. There's obviously news as well where you've got Fetterman in Pennsylvania. He's running for the U.S. Senate seat there. He might actually win. And he's calling for, hey, let's just release prisoners out into the streets. They're not going to do anything. I'm sure you've seen the latest story. I don't have all the details, but what happened in Memphis? The guy was locked up, should have been locked up much longer. They let him out. Boom, he goes on a mass shooting spree. We all have seen what's happened in Fargo with young Jupiter. That guy should have been locked up for a long, long, long time. He gets off on an easy sentence, goes and gets high, and next thing you know, we lose young Jupiter in the parking lot of Fargo, North Dakota. This isn't, some random big city where some of that stuff maybe is more apt to happen. We're talking Fargo, North Dakota. Young girl skateboarding through a parking lot gets stabbed to death. Let's get to your phone calls. 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Roger, thanks for staying with us, sir. We appreciate it. What's your point of view on this whole CRT thing?
Well, I think any time that they decide to teach the difference between a race of people is wrong. If you go to the Bible, it's pretty clear. We're to love one another, our neighbors, the people around us, and we're even supposed to love our enemies. So anytime that you teach that to a child, that there's a difference, it's degrading to, like that one caller in that just he hit the nail on the head. It's degrading to both races, and I've just been praying for them not to implement that. It is evil, like you said. It's just plain evil.
Roger, fantastic call. I think you just nailed it on the head as well. Love your neighbor as yourself, right? That's like one of the most basic laws of the good book that there is. Love your neighbor as yourself. And it's really stunning to me when you think about in a young person's mind. I mean, those are the kind of things that, in my opinion, it's interesting. I had a great conversation the other day. We had some mama bears come in the office because there's just so much going on in the school system as we're asking some mama bears, and you as well. You've all been doing an incredible job helping to feed us content. That's how we got this information about Moorhead and the books and whatnot, but helping us help you. And we had some mama bears in just talking about what's going on within the school system. And it was probably about an hour into the conversation. I said, so let me just see if I can understand what you're telling me here. I said, if I'm hearing you correctly, what I'm hearing you say, Chris, is, look, let's just get back to the basics. And what I said to them, I said, rather than teaching the 4 R's, the 3 R's, what I'm hearing you say is we need to be teaching the 4 R's. And what I meant by that was reading, writing, arithmetic, and righteousness. To me, that's the missing ingredient. Why are we not talking about righteousness in our schools right now? Yes, we should teach kids how to read. Yes, we should teach them how to write. Yes, we should teach them how to do arithmetic. And also there's this important piece about righteousness and morality. And again, I go back to character. Let's talk about how do we improve someone's character, not just judge them by the color of their skin. We've got about a minute left here, so I want to get to one more call, and then we've got a special guest coming in. So, Jamie, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Hi, yes, I was calling in regards to the person who assaulted young Jupiter, and he had actually assaulted a minor in Walmart, and it was recorded, and the parents of that minor wanted to prosecute, but the Fargo police said that minor was 17 years old. And so really there's nothing that you can do. And it's like, wait a minute, he just assaulted a minor.
Wait a second. I don't know the law maybe as well as you do. So the police said because he's a minor, they couldn't prosecute, or?
The police said he's 17 and they wanted to prosecute because this person is a minor and was assaulted by an adult. And a few weeks later, he goes and kills Jupiter.
Wow. I have not heard that piece of the story.
Yes. Yeah. And it's on videotape. The police saw the videotape, saw him just there was no contact between the minor or him. He just went up there and hit the person in the face and fractured his orbital bone. That's how hard he hit the young minor.
Jamie, thank you for that bit of information. Super producer Chris Larson, if you can look into that, please, and let me know, because we definitely want to follow up with that and find out more information. All right, we've been talking about a serious topic, but it also is a feel-good Friday. Thanks to Giving Hearts Day. Every Friday, we want to change directions a little bit. I'm going to play the Jody Plessity clip for you at the end of the show. Stay with me for that. Coming up next, special guest about a great organization making a big, big impact right here in our community. Stay with us.
Decreasing clouds through this evening will lead into partly cloudy conditions tonight. We'll have a northerly wind around 5 to 15, going light as temperatures drop down to a low near 44. On Saturday, partly cloudy, a lot of sunshine around the area with temperatures in the lower 70s and upper 60s. We'll have a north-northwest wind 5 to 15. Light wind on Sunday, mostly sunny, lower and mid 70s before we warm to the mid and upper 70s into next week. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Hi, Lacey here with Precision Concrete Cutters. You've heard our ads about egress windows. They add sunlight, they provide an escape and add value to your home. All true, but I'd like to let you in on a little secret. You can add an egress window anywhere, even if there's no existing window. I know this because at Precision Concrete Cutters, we specialize in egress window installation and replacement. Precision Concrete Cutters, 701-280-7038. That's 280-7038.
Some big news. Tucked away in Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act was over $80 billion for the IRS to hire 87,000 new employees. That means thousands of new IRS agents, almost doubling the size of the IRS. Bloomberg reports this means more IRS audits on taxpayers like you. All this week, Rob Schmidt on Newsmax takes on this new IRS army and the dangers to you, your money, and your freedom. Watch Rob Schmidt every night, 6 p.m. Central on Newsmax. He's not afraid to take on big government. Rob exposes their power grab and shows you how to fight back. I watch Newsmax. You should too. Tune in to Newsmax tonight for Rob Schmidt, plus Greta Van Susteren, Eric Bolling, and a lot more on America's trusted cable news channel. Find Newsmax on all major cable systems. If your system doesn't carry it, call them. Tell them you want Newsmax. And watch Rob Schmidt tonight. Remember, Newsmax is real news for real people.
Did you know that Masterforce has thousands of tools at Menards? Any tool you want, we have. There are hammers, drills, pliers, levels, wrenches, grinders, sanders, air compressors, nailers, workbenches, mowers, blowers, chainsaws, floor jacks, knee pads, work lights, fans. Whew. And that's just a taste. Want power, performance, durability? Come check out the wide range of products from Masterforce, exclusively at Menards.
Big Iron is the area's largest farm show, and Acme Equipment will be there, showcasing Kubota tractors, utility vehicles, zero-turn mowers, skid steers, and much more. Take advantage of low-rate financing and money-saving discounts. As the area's newest Kubota full-line dealer, Acme Equipment is committed to serving the farming community with the highest quality sales, service, and farm products in the industry. Stop by our building during Big Iron and visit with one of our expert sales staff and see why Kubota is right for you.
The reviews are in. My coffee is a big hit. People absolutely love it. One of our listeners said, Scott, I've sampled a lot of coffee, but this one's different. It's rich, but also very smooth, low acidity. The finish is clean, and it has a pleasant aftertaste. Try some for yourself today. Go to mystore.com. Use the promo code Scott for up to 25% off. Your choices include whole bean, ground, coffee pods, light roast, medium roast, dark roast, and a decaf. Again, in coffee pods, ground, or whole bean, your choice. And guess what? It's roasted and packed right here in the USA. It's guaranteed, like all the products at MyPillow. Mike Lindell invites you to try his new product, My Coffee, by going to mystore.com. Mystore.com. Use the promo code Scott or call this number, 800-506-9028. 800-506-9028 or mystore.com, promo code Scott, for the best coffee you've ever had, bar none.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. One of the great things about being free or feeling like you've been set free is obviously the purpose of our lives is really to go out and impact and make a difference for other people. We've been talking today about, hey, love your neighbor as yourself. You remember Jesus talked about being the greatest servant, being the great leader that way. And what did he do? He washed people's feet. I mean, that's what we talk about. When you think about true service, it's about washing other people's feet to try to make an impact. That is, to me, can you just see Jesus washing other people's feet? It's like, wow. Okay. Humility is a great, great thing. So today it is a Feel Good Friday brought to you by Dakota Medical Foundation and Giving Hearts Day. We've got a special organization with us today. They've actually been in the community making a difference, going out and serving people. Speaking of servant leadership, for the past 50 years, which is absolutely incredible. So join us today. We've got the president of CHI Friendship, Dory Leslie. Dory, congratulations on 50 years and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great ministry for 50 years. It's just an amazing thing to watch happen each and every day.
It's always fun because we get to do this every Friday. We have different organizations in, and you think about, gosh, there's so many challenges in our community, and then there's people like you and your organization are going out and going, hey, this is our sole focus, Chris. We go out, we make a difference, we want to solve this problem. So maybe everyone's not familiar with CHI Friendship, so give us kind of a quick mission on that. But what's the real problem that you're solving in our community?
Right. Friendship is a large nonprofit in Fargo, Grafton, and Park River who serves people with disabilities, all kinds of disabilities. And really, we say abilities because everybody has abilities and gifts to give themselves, each other, and our community. And so we've been in service for, like you said, 50 years. We have 300 plus employees. We have 200 plus people that we support each and every day who are gifts and loved ones to every mom and dad out there that we serve with them. And so what a blessing our ministry is. Today, we focus on a lot of different things within our community. And one of the things we focused on last year within our community is really helping people get out of the pandemic, even mentally get out of the pandemic, and really focus on some mental health needs to the people we support.
So tell me more about that because this mental health piece is so pervasive. And I think, the hard thing with mental health is that, like, if I were to, slice my arm right now, you could be like, oh, hey, Chris, you're bleeding. You probably should get that attended to, right? But mental health, you can't see. There's trauma in people's lives that's invisible. So how are you helping people get through that and have better, more prosperous lives?
Right. Such a variety of mental health needs or even diagnosis. Diagnoses may come in severe or they may come in just some anxiety each and every day. And so there's such a variety for each person that we support or even our community. And so when you think about mental health and the pandemic, really it's mentally to get over the pandemic state. It's probably always going to be here. So how do we get out of the mode of thinking it's probably a bigger thing than maybe what it's going to be when we live with it probably for the rest of our lives. So I'll give you a great example. We have one person we support who became a little depressed and had maybe some more anxiety. And really, we could see he was really struggling. And so we wrapped our arms around him saying, how do we help him be more active with his friends, his community, go to lunch more, and really put our efforts towards making him feel like he's valued. He's an important part of our friendship family, but even our community. And so really making sure that people feel valued and that they have support and they can talk to any one of us, especially their interdisciplinary team or really their friends and family. And this guy really had that support and he found maybe a new place to live and really just felt like he was valued. And we could see him becoming more happier and probably feeling valued. And so really that's one of many examples that we really say, okay, how do we make sure that everybody has somebody in their life that they know that they can talk to and really focus on getting the support and conversation that they need each and every day, just like you and I would. And so we really want to take that story and multiply it for all the people we support, but even in our community. North Dakota continues to look for ways to help people with mental health, even behavioral health issues. And so the more we all can do as a community, the healthier the community is going to be.
If you're just joining us, Dory Leslie, she's the president of CHI Friendship. They're celebrating 50 years that they've been serving and making a difference in our community here on this Feel Good Friday. Thanks so much to Dakota Medical Foundation and Giving Hearts Day. Now, you mentioned that you're serving 200 individuals with abilities. Can you give us a better idea of so what are some of those abilities that you're working with specifically? And then maybe you've got some other stories to share with, hey, Chris, this person was dealing with X. They started working with us here at Friendship, and now Y is happening in their lives.
Correct. Yeah, we see everybody, like you said, as the face of Christ and really doing God's work for us to help them be a part of our community. And so when we look at each person we support, we say, what gifts do they have? Can they work an hour at a job that they choose? Can they work 40 hours a week at a job that they choose? Everybody can define that for themselves. Instead of saying, oh, so-and-so has such a disability that they can't work, we say, what can they do and what do they want to do? And really valuing their opinion their voice and their own decision. And so really that's a lot of what we focus on too, is allowing people to make their decisions as you and I would want to make our decisions in our life. And that's something that we've really worked on, is really supporting people to be their own voice, make their decisions, and live the American dream just like you and I want to each and every day. So go ahead.
But so like these 200 people that you're working with, like
Mhm.
give us an idea of what are some of the challenges they're dealing with, just so we can understand more
Right.
about what the mission is and who you're focused on.
When I think of the field of developmental disability, I think, when you go back to the 1980s, where it's the lawsuit in North Dakota with the ARC, and how back in the 80s we worked to deinstitutionalize people with disabilities. And so I think we've come a long way. But I also think that if we were honest with ourselves, there's still a stigma and a disenfranchised group of people who really continue to struggle to sometimes be included in the community, as well as in things in society that they want to be part of. And so we do continue to struggle. And that's why I'm here today and all the time of educating our community that people with disabilities want to be just like everybody else. So I think that's one of our struggles. And the struggle that we also have really is an opportunity for our employers, is people want to find true employment. And so we find that we struggle helping people find employment, and there's an untapped workforce market that people want to work. And so if anybody has a job for people, anybody with abilities of varieties, right? We have an untapped workforce that we really want to help employers be part of that as well. Just two examples of the struggles that we continue to work towards.
I think one company that does a really good job helping, or I would assume working with you guys, is Hornbachers, right?
Correct. Hornbachers is excellent. They hire lots of people with disabilities or a variety of abilities. West Acres Mall is an excellent advocate to make sure that everybody's included. We've worked with West Acres for a number of years, and Hornbachers, West Acres, and a lot of other employers are just amazing. And there's still people who are looking for employees and employers. And so we have more people. So any employer can reach out to us as well if they
Oh
have
my
an
God.
untapped workforce.
Your phone is going to be ringing off the hook. Like that is
I
the
know, right?
number one thing
Yes,
when I talk to you, like,
yes.
we need work for us. We need work
I
for us. So
know.
if you're just joining us again, Dory Leslie with CHI Friendship, she's the president there. It's a Feel Good Friday brought to you by Giving Hearts Day and Dakota Medical Foundation. We got just a short amount of time left. It flies by, Dory. So because you just talked about the workforce piece, how can people get a hold of you if they say, hey, look, I need helpers. What do you have?
Right. And so we are actually looking for employees ourselves. You can reach out to Friendship 235-8217. We have a variety of shifts open, as well as if employers are looking to hire people with disabilities into their job too, they can still call that same number. And then I also want to do a shout out for our direct support professionals next week as we celebrate Direct Support Professional Week with our frontline employees. They are the heart and soul of the company, as well as Friendship will be participating in Giving Hearts Day in February 2023. And so I appreciate and thank all the donors ahead of time for just a great successful campaign last year. And those donations have been used to benefit the lives of all the people that we support. So thank to our donors.
Yeah, thank you to Giving Hearts Day for this opportunity to have you come in studio, visit with you, and real quickly, if you don't mind, just share with us. So Giving Hearts Day, big day for you to raise money. How do you use that money to make a difference in our community?
We have had a great year of using our donor money to the most appropriate way. We've held prom for the people that we support. We've used it for, having people go to the Twins game. We've paid for people to be first aid and CPR certified so they can be more safe in their home. Maybe gym membership, so again, they can be active in their community. Just a wide variety of needs for the people that we support. So every donation matters to help them have a better quality of life each and every day. And so we are very thankful for our donors.
Dory Leslie, just I'm a good DJ.
Excellent.
Dory
Yes.
Leslie, I can spin some records. Dory Leslie, president of CHI Friendship, again celebrating 50 years. Congratulations on that. If you want to find out more, go to chifriendship.com, correct?
Yes.
chifriendship.com. Again, that's chifriendship.com. Thank you. Keep up the great work.
Thank you for having us. I
Yeah, it's
appreciate
great to have you here on a Feel Good Friday. All right, stay with us. When we come back, I've been talking on throughout the entire show. Jody Plessity, hopefully you're listening today because she crushed it yesterday in Bismarck. I want to play for you what she said yesterday in Bismarck in this hearing in regards to CRT. She has maybe some potential solutions for you as families here in North Dakota. Number to call in, 701-271-1100. Stick around, much more coming up.
Nelson looking to break one tackle, trying to break a second, diving forward, crosses the goal line. Packers, touchdown. Dosman rejected it, said no more. Coast to coast, Dosman for the two-handed slam.
High school sports can be heard weekly here on AM 1100 and 92.3 FM, The Flag. Each week, we will be bringing you the scores and highlights from the Fargo Metro and beyond. Which games will we be covering this week? Check out our sports schedule today at am1100theflag.com and click on the sports tab.
Are you a dreamer? Do you have ideas for your home that someday you'd like to do? Well, Broughton Cabinets loves dreamers. The designers at Broughton Cabinets understand that change can take time. So they welcome all dreamers to stop by their new showroom south of Fleet Farm. You have so many options for kitchens and mudrooms, laundry rooms, and so much more. If you're in the beginning stages of building or just starting to think about remodeling a den or adding a dog wash station, the team at Broughton Cabinets is ready to dream with you.
Jerry Breyer is here, the generous one from Gold Silver Exchange Grand Forks. Let's talk about why precious metals are so very valuable right now.
Well, many financial advisors are recommending that we buy gold and silver now. And with all the advertising you see on TV with the gold and silver, we can match and beat any of those prices. We recommend you load up on silver and gold while there's a good supply. At some point, the supply is going to get very short. And if you're not here early, you may have to be on a waiting list for some time, like we were the last time in 2011 and 12.
Call Jerry and his team. They can be trusted. You don't want to be dealing with somebody you don't know over the phone, from a TV commercial. Give them a call, 701-746-9952, or online too at Gold Silver Exchange. Tell them Scott sent you to Gold Silver Exchange Grand Forks.
It's the best little gun show in the area, coming up September 9th and 10th at the Red River Regional Marksmanship Center in West Fargo. Friday is 4 to 8 p.m. and Saturday is 8 to 4. Vendors will be on hand with firearms, ammunition, and various hunting and shooting products. With road construction in West Fargo, the best route to the range is 45th Street North to 7th Avenue, then west of the range. That's this Friday and Saturday at Red River Regional Marksmanship Center in West Fargo. For more information, go online to rrmc.com.
You can always count on Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Always crisp, always easy drinking, always just right. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment since 1903. Welcome to the High Life. 2019 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
Welcome back on a Feel Good Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. This is the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. We're asking, hey, if the great state of North Dakota should ban CRT, critical race theory. If you want to call in here, we got a few minutes. Number to call into the show, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. We are going to get to this clip of Jody Plessity. She absolutely just knocked it out of the park yesterday in Bismarck for this hearing. Before we do, I want to share with you Cassie Schmidt. Cassie, always great to have you with us. She posted this on the live stream. She says, hey, CRT is already banned in North Dakota. Yesterday's hearing was to talk more about what CRT is and how to enforce the law that is in place. Again, the law already states CRT-based curriculum is outlawed in our state. Our problem is there's confusion over what exactly CRT is defined as, how to know when it's in the classroom, and what to do with evidence of it. Department of Public Instruction is trying to pass the buck to the state's attorney. State's attorney has no clear definition or consequence. So exactly. So even though it might say, hey, this has already been outlawed, nobody's doing anything. Everyone's going like, well, I don't know what to do. You should do this. And I think we've heard from Superintendent Baser. She's like, look, I ain't got no teeth in this. There's nothing I can do. You guys didn't write the bill well enough for me to do anything. So everyone just sort of sits in their hands and lets our kids learn. And this isn't in North Dakota, but you get my point that whiteness is bad. Always has been. All right, I got to play this for you because Jody Plessity stood up yesterday and said this.
Virtue signaling. My suggestion is this. We need to create a general public hotline or state-ran website where citizens can report such events or activities of CRT. Upload documentation the school districts or teachers that are subjecting our children to our teaching, or any watered down versions of CRT. Let's allow the state's attorney's office to filter, investigate this information. And the repercussions, if the school doesn't stop, funding is pulled immediately.
Boom! Mic drop. Jesus is like, look, y'all ain't gonna follow the rules. Funding, Gandhi. See ya. I've said this now for quite some time. They give you those 2 to 3 minutes at these school board meetings to placate you. Sure, come on, we want to hear from you. Until you start taking the money, they ain't gonna do nothing. They are going to literally walk back after the meeting and laugh at you. Oh, did you hear that person that got up and said this for 2 or 3 minutes? Like, no, they will laugh until you start saying, oh, okay, guess what? You don't want to abide by what the public actually is asking you to do, then no more moolah for you. No mas. That's why I feel like the voucher system is so critically important with school choice in our state, because then the money follows the student and you as a parent can decide. You can decide, hey, do I want my kid going to this school, that school? Do I want to do like a homeschool curriculum where I've got several families together? You decide. Now the money goes with you, not to the system. So here's more of Jody. I love it.
Everybody in this
She got such a mic drop on the. Unfortunately, I don't know how they did this. They cut out the applause, so we couldn't hear any of the applause. But she got such an applause from No More Funding. She just had such a mic drop moment. She was like, "Okay, here we go." So here's some more of Jody.
This room isn't against teaching our past history to our kids, whether good or bad, about our country. It needs to be taught right along with morals, ethics, and values of this great country.
Another applause line is what we just talked about. I said earlier, look, we need to go from the 3 R's to the 4 R's, right? Reading, writing, arithmetic, and righteousness. Let's talk about righteousness. You know righteousness. I know righteousness. We all can feel it. We know when we see it, and we need more of it, not less.
What is wrong here is subjecting one particular group. To respond to the term diversity, we should absolutely, under no circumstance, ever raise up or lower any group of people to benefit another, period.
Another applause line, completely agree.
Stop separating our children by teaching them solely based on race and saying black or white in our teachings. Stop pitting people against each other first. Stop playing the victim. Don't judge no content of their character by what we did in the past. An example would be, I had no direct part in slavery, so why should I have white guilt now? Teach the past history and move on. More precisely, virtue signaling is all this bill currently is. You make conservatives feel good because you put it down on paper, and liberals happy by not enforcing it. If you can't enforce the law, don't make it. Don't teach it, period.
There's a little applause. And she nails it. Look, if you're not going to enforce the thing, what's the point? What's the point? And that's why Representative Jim Casper was out there. They want to put some teeth in this thing for the next session. But we will have more on this. As we all know, there's going to be more and more taking place within the school systems. And again, thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for all of you that are reaching out to the show each and every day and helping us with things that we would never see if it wasn't for you. So you can always send us messages on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Chris Berg Show. Again, facebook.com/Chris Berg Show. You can always email us tips. It's really easy. studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. So should be a fun weekend. Boy, last night, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Wow. Josh Allen just throwing lasers all over the field. So you got the Vikes Packers this weekend, Bison, Fighting Hawks. I'm Chris Berg. We love you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday at 4.